Got back from Cambodia and I wanted to make a video a little bit about my experience there. So when most people go to Southeast Asia, at least Westerners, they typically go to Thailand, Vietnam, and those countries are beautiful and great. I went to those countries too, but they always skip over Cambodia. And I think a lot of times it's because one, they either don't know anything about it, or two, what they have heard about it is like incorrect information, or they're under this impression that there's nothing to do there, there's no reason to visit, it's like dangerous or whatever. I just want to come on here and tell you guys that it was the most beautiful country I think I've ever visited in my entire life. And because it wasn't so overrun by tourism, it was like so authentic. I don't know, because I feel like a lot of times when you visit certain countries and you go to these like ancient landmarks or whatever, they kind of disappoint you in person because they don't feel authentic anymore. But like when I was in Cambodia, I went to Angkor Wat and it literally feels like you're stepping back in time. It was incredible. Also, besides it just being a beautiful country, a lot of the scenery and stuff that you think you see in Thailand or other parts of Southeast Asia, you can see that in Cambodia. And it's honestly much cheaper. Like going to Cambodia was so cheap. I also learned a lot about the history of Cambodia, which I didn't really know about because in school, at least in American school, they don't teach you a lot about Asian history. I mean, like you brush on it a little bit. I feel like most of the American school system is focused on US history and like government and like a little bit of world history, but we didn't learn a lot about Cambodia. Like, so when I went there and I learned about the Khmer Rouge and how it was basically another Holocaust that happened that I didn't even know about, that was in like relatively recent history. This was in the 70s. And I feel like this whole trip was extremely eye-opening and life-changing for me because these people went through a horrific time in history, yet they are some of the nicest locals I think I have ever met. When you visit other countries, a lot of times the locals, I don't want to say that they're rude, but you know, like they're not as like open to foreigners. In Cambodia, when you walk down the street, the locals will literally smile at you, say hello to you. People of all ages. I was like shocked how nice and friendly people were, especially considering how sad the history was. I don't want to go into details, but like literally life-changing. Besides it being a beautiful country, it's like the most beautiful part were the people. It also was a little bit hard to see certain parts because there is a lot of poverty there. But I think it's really good to visit countries like that because it completely changes your perspective on everything else. Because me, as an American tourist, growing up in America, moving to Korea, living in a first world country, again, you can't even fathom what it would be like to grow up somewhere and not have access to all the technology you want. Running water, food, everything. I'm sitting here in my own apartment with air conditioning, a fully stocked fridge, laundry, clothes. It's like super eye-opening to go somewhere and see people who don't have that, especially like little kids. You know, as a teacher, seeing little kids who are, you know, forced to go out and work on the street, it definitely like really affected me to see a lot of that stuff and to learn about the history of Cambodia, but then to experience how kind the people were. Like people who really don't have anything, but were still so kind and would give you whatever they did have if they could. When I was there were moments where I was like, I don't even know if I want to do social media anymore. When I'm living here, I'll have all these problems that I think are just like the worst thing in the world. Like I'll wake up, I'll feel fat one day, I'll feel ugly, a boy won't be texting me back, whatever. Those are not real problems. That is not real life. And I know people are going to see this as just like, wow, a white woman finally got a reality check. But you see this stuff on TV, sometimes you read about it, but it's so different when you're actually there and experiencing it for yourself. It just made me realize how all of my life problems are just first world problems. Like my whole life is just an assortment of champagne problems. None of it's real. None of it matters. But yeah, the craziest thing was going to a country that was so beautiful that most people, I feel like, don't know about. I don't really know anyone who's visited Cambodia. Beautiful country with beautiful people. It almost felt like a hidden gem. A sad history, but a very important history. It's good for people to learn. It's good for people to visit there, visit places like this because it's so good for your soul. And especially to experience how nice the people were. I will never ever forget this trip for anything. I know this video is like super rambly. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. When I was there, I asked my tour guide if there was like anything that I could do because I told her like I have a little bit of a TikTok following. Like, is there any like organization or foundation or something that people can donate to? Because I genuinely like felt like I wanted to help the people there if I could, if there was anything I could do. And she said the best way to aid Cambodia and their economy is tourism. So I am here to tell you guys, if you get the opportunity to visit Southeast Asia, you can go to Thailand, you can go to Vietnam, you can see all these beautiful countries. Don't skip over Cambodia because there are countries that need your tourism more than other countries do and could really benefit from it, but are equally as beautiful. Honestly, in some ways, I would almost say more beautiful because these places are not super overrun by tourism. Angkor Wat was insane. I watched the sunrise at Angkor Wat. See if I can insert pictures here. Mind-blowing. Like, it felt like I was dreaming. It was insane. I will definitely be back in Cambodia for sure. I don't know when or how or for how long, but I'm coming back to Cambodia. If you want to help Cambodia, number one thing you can do is increase tourism. But if you do want to donate, there is a foundation called Daughters of Cambodia. It's a foundation that aids women and girls who are trapped in the sex industry. If you don't have any money to give, that's okay. I think it's just important to raise awareness for a country whose history I didn't even really know about. Maybe you did, but personally, I didn't learn much about it in school. If you don't have money to donate, I think just raising awareness for Cambodia and the history is really important too. So there is a movie called First They Killed My Father. It's on Netflix. Please watch it. It's directed by Angelina Jolie. It tells you a little bit about the history of the Khmer Rouge and when they overtook Cambodia. So I'm probably going to be posting a lot of content about my trip to Cambodia. So please watch and share that content, not just for my personal gain, but I want to help boost the tourism in Cambodia. If you want to visit there, you don't have to go alone. You can go through a tour group. I went through Intrepid. They were fantastic. I'm running out of time and I'm sorry that this video was super rambly, but this is really important to me. So please just try to take something away from this video and let's help boost Cambodian tourism together.